Okay, is it an echo?
Hey, hey, 1, 2. Oh
Hey,
no, it's
hey.
okay.
Okay, we're good. We are ready to go. So, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thanks, and you?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. How's everything going in Russia?
Oh, so. I'm not in Russia now. I'm in Georgia.
Good. There's a lot of fucking craziness going on in Russia right now. That's why when I saw that, I'm like, oh, I hope she's out of there. That's some fucking crazy
I'm all
shit.
right. Thanks, I'm all right now.
That's good. How's everything going with the album? I love it.
Um, Thanks. Pretty well, trying to promote it in different ways. Uh, Now exploring new media because the old ways of promoting doesn't work anymore. So we gotta go on different kinds of TikTok and other stuff that we are, old enough to enjoy it. But
See, social media is a double-edged sword because it's awesome because you can promote in so many different ways, but it's also a pain in the ass because there's so many different ways.
yeah, and you don't know where to start even because it's confusing and you can go there, you can go here, and but we are like old school guys. We don't know this stuff, so
No, you're like put an ad in the newspaper, like, and hopefully somebody reads it.
maybe that's our way of doing things. Yeah, old
Yeah,
school way.
the way that I promote sometimes is I'll go through a drive-through and I'll give them a business card, like, hey, I'll take a number three, and here's what I do. Because word of mouth still works. Word of mouth
Yeah,
still works.
yes,
So,
yes,
so
that's the way.
what's your inspiration when it comes to writing music? Like I see you write a lot about mythology and all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of fun, I think. Different kinds of inspiration and sources. For me, in writing lyrics, is the are the poems, TV series, all the kinds of art I'm interested in. Ivan, who writes the music, I think is more inspired in all kind of rock bands and not only rock, classic music, garage, psychedelic, psychedelia. I don't know, all kinds of stuff. Um, um,
You guys have a very like 60s ish rock sound, and that's fucking killer because I love classic rock. But I mean, I listen to everything though. Like I'll listen to I'll go from death metal to polka. Like I'll jam to anything. I don't give a shit.
yeah, yeah. We are. We like to listen to all kinds of stuff. I like trip hop, for example, and folk music, and it's not very rockish, yeah, but adds its um, it adds in our music, so you can hear these influences as well. I
But
think that's cool.
who dictates what is considered rock and roll? Really, I mean, a lot of our heroes listen to some pretty eclectic music.
Yeah,
That's like I met Alice Cooper a few times, and he loves Frank Zappa. Like
why not?
like hell, I don't know if you're familiar with Frank Zappa, but his music is it's all over
Yeah,
the
of
place.
course I heard of Frank Zappa and I have listened
Good,
to it, of course,
good.
and Alice Cooper as well.
I love Frank's music. Did you ever watch when he went in front of Congress and he actually fought because they tried censoring his music?
Uh, no, I think not.
It was a big deal in the States. You might have been in Russia at the time, but
Mm,
or might not have even been born because I wasn't. He went in front of Congress with Dee Snider of Twisted Sister and
cool.
John Denver, and the government was trying to censor music, and they all went in front of them. And the album in question that had a parental advisory sticker was Frank Zappa's album Jazz from Hell, which was an all instrumental album. And he's like, how am I getting hit with explicit lyrics if there's no words? Like he's like, what the fuck? And he even said, he's like, that's our right as a citizen. You have the right to freedom of speech. He's like, the lyrics are in the album if there was any. Like it's your job to read it. And it was
Yeah,
pretty fucking wild.
it's a cool story. Yeah, and what's year it is?
I think the year was, well, Zappa died in '94, so it had to have been like '92, the year I was born. So
Yep.
it was fucking wild shit. The dude actually went on it wasn't the news, but it was like a show called Crossfire where he had like politicians and shit on there, and they brought Frank on, and they
Hmm.
thought you were gonna get this dumb rock star, and he went on there fucking
Yeah.
intelligent.
Actually, I don't really like when politics and music go
Me
all together. Yeah, it's
But
like not my style.
it's funny though when politicians try to outsmart musicians and they get
Yeah,
not
that's
what they
why that's what they do in Russia now. You know,
yeah.
all of my friends who play in bands are now struggling a lot because you gotta sing in Russian. You gotta sing about traditional values.
I mean,
um,
I've always been one to go against the grain because what is traditional values though? It's just shit we made up. Like we like we're like, oh, this is how things should be. Like humans made it up. Have you ever? This is a random thought, but have you ever went down the rabbit hole of like the mythology of? It's called Grimm fairy tales. Ever go down that rabbit hole? It's basically all the Disney movies that came out came from old myths and old
yep.
fairy tales from like the
Yeah.
1800s. I actually have a book of all of them, and
Yeah. We all do, I think.
it's crazy. It's fucking crazy because I was reading the Cinderella one the other day, and I don't know if you've ever read the original Cinderella.
Oh, it's pretty creepy, I know. The original is wild and creepy.
Yeah, they like cut their feet to like fit the
Yeah.
shoe, and I'm like, oh my god. And then the
Yeah, even scarier are the Russian fairy tales, you know. They are very creepy. I don't know why children are reading it because it's like about death all the time. It's very, very creepy.
it's the way we got to teach these kids young, I guess. That's
Yeah,
that's like the old I think you call it a nursery rhyme where they're like I forget exactly how it goes, but they're singing about how the cradle will rock and it's on top of a fucking tree, and if it the wind breaks, the cradle will fall. It's about a child dying from falling out of a tree, and I'm like, we sung this when I was a kid. Like,
so these roots, I think, these common roots is great, and that's why it's one of the um, ideas. That's why we brought the myths because it's something very common, known in every country, in every culture. Something like so metaphysical, so unmaterial, and so unconscious. So we can bring it and everybody would understand it.
exactly, and it seems like we tend to forget or we don't pay attention to the words in these songs. We just sing them. And then when we sit back, we're like, maybe that ain't, maybe that ain't what. That's like they did a song. It was about the what was it? It was the bubonic plague. It's
Uh-huh.
ring around the rosy, pocket full of posy, ashes, ashes, we all fall down. That's about the bubonic plague. Like, I'm like,
Nice theme, why not? Yeah.
yeah, like why not? So, do you have a
Pretty
tour?
actual after COVID-19, you know, pretty
Oh my
actual.
God, we need to update it to the COVID
Yeah.
version. Like when they cough,
Remix.
when they cough, don't cough on me. And then we all fall. It's weird how COVID went from like everybody freaking out to now we've just accepted it. Like it's just
It now we all think that those times were pretty nice.
yeah, it's weird looking back. Like we get to tell if we have kids. or have kids, we get to tell the kids that, like, hey, I survived
I
COVID.
survived. We survived. Yeah, I
They're-
think they would make fun of us and will say that.
Well, this isn't the first time it's happened, though. Not
Yeah.
COVID. COVID, this is the first time, but we had the Spanish flu 100 years ago, and people did the same thing. They locked themselves in their house, blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
There was this woman I saw. She's like 110, and she survived COVID and the Spanish flu. She had both, and I'm like, you're a tough woman. Like that's that is one tough lady.
Maybe we should write about such ladies. Yeah, like
We
yesterday
should.
was International Women Day. It's like about her,
I think I think
about all the tough women.
I think you women deserve a month. I don't think it needs to be just a day. We need a month, like, or a week.
Thanks,
I mean, but with some
at
people's
least.
luck, that week would sink in with the period, and that would, that would be a bit of a problem. So, do you have any shows coming up?
Unfortunately, no. It's pretty hard now to plan it because we are in different countries right now.
Mm.
So we work remotely on the new songs, on promoting the myth. No, no planning, no touring. Unfortunately, I hope so. I hope we'll make it. The things will settle up
Oh,
one
you'll
day.
you'll make it work.
Thanks.
You guys are really good. Like, I love the vocals. I love the style. You guys kind of remind me of like a heavier, like, I don't know. I don't want to say Jefferson Airplane, but like kind of, but like heavier, like
Maybe, yeah.
like a little bit.
Mm.
How'd you come up with the name? Like, was that you or was that somebody else in the band?
The name. It's not a pretty interesting story because we just thought that it'd be cool to have a queue. Oh, hi, somebody join us.
Oh, welcome, Pink. This
Oh,
is my,
popped in.
Hi,
this is my lovely co-host. She just swings by whenever. Pink.
hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm okay.
We just talked
I was
about.
listening to your music last
Hmm.
night, so
Oh, it
How
is.
do you like it?
I loved it. It was awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So we was talking about what was we talking about? Oh, how you came up with the name Sun Q.
Yeah, the name. We wanted to this letter Q to be in the name because Ivan, the author, and he has like a stage name or pseudonym like Johnny Q, and I thought that it would be like his last name in the name of the band. Why not?
Oh,
Johnny
that's
Q.
cool.
Yeah, the sun, pretty popular symbol, very powerful symbol, and we loved all that's about space and cosmos, and we put it together.
All you guys should have the last name Q and kind of have it be like the Ramones. Be
Yeah,
like
be like a
Yeah.
family,
the
The
Q
Partridge
family.
Family.
Yeah, the Partridge family.
but Susie Q will sue us for that, I think.
True, Susie Q might, but I mean, wait until you guys get rich, and then you can do that because you
Yeah,
can just afford the lawsuit.
yeah. As soon as we get rich.
So you guys just released this album, which is fucking incredible. Guys, go check out Sun Q. We actually have your website right below here. Look at that. Look at that. That's
Yeah, and check out our Bandcamp page as well.
oh,
We have some merch there.
I need to get me a Sun Q shirt and wear it on here
Yeah. We
right
have
now.
a t-shirt with the Bachante. She's topless. So
Oh, I like topless.
it's a must.
I mean, you know me. I'm a dude. I like topless. So you got me sold. I'm gonna go buy it now.
Marketing.
Yeah, marketing. I mean, that's how I fight. I fight shirtless. Like if somebody if somebody walks up to me and they're like, "You want to fight?" I'm like, "Well," and then I get grease. And I mean,
It's true.
it's true because the thing is, I can't fight. So if I can creep you out, I don't have to.
And like
So hire me
your
as your
little gorilla
bodyguard.
stance.
What I'm saying is when you guys tour, just hire me as your bodyguard. I'll just freak people out. I'll just not mess with you guys. But we can find you guys also on Facebook, Twitter, right?
No, no Twitter.
Not Twitter or X or whatever the fuck they call it. They call it X now, right?
Yeah,
I found it
but
hilarious.
everybody calls it Twitter.
Yeah, I find that hilarious that they bought the biggest platform. Well, not the biggest, but one of the biggest platforms, and then wanted to change the name. And then when they changed it to X, everybody left. So now it's everybody's
Yeah.
X. Um, so you guys are on Facebook, Instagram. That's the one I meant.
Yep.
Instagram. Uh, where else? Anywhere else?
Uh,
Bandcamp.
yeah, of course. Bandcamp is our most important page.
And of course, you have to be on Spotify nowadays if you're a musician and
Yes.
all those.
Yes.
I do have a little grape with Spotify though, because I know a lot of people that are musicians, some that get decent amount of views and listens, and Spotify don't pay worth a shit.
Ah, yeah, that's some new rules in Spotify. If your song doesn't get 1,000 audio streams, then you got nothing. You are not paid at
Wow.
all.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's that way with YouTube too. If you don't have 1,000 views or 1,000 subscribers, they won't even consider you to get paid.
Yeah, you're like
I
nothing
read,
to them.
I read somewhere that even huge artists like Kiss, for instance, they only get like $20, and I'm like, for millions of views, you only get like 20 or 30 bucks.
It's unfair. It's so unfair to independent artists. So that's why I always try to make the Bandcamp page most important because it's the real thing. It's the media where the fans can buy our music, our merch, CDs, and all that stuff.
So, guys,
Yeah,
buy merch. That's the important part for bands. I had
yeah.
I had a guy explain to me one time. I don't know if it was on here or not, but somebody explained to me one time that musicians are traveling T-shirt salesmen, and then they write music. That's
That's so right. Yeah, that's
Mm.
really very very like it is. Yeah, that's right.
like
Uh, Selling merch and doing gigs. Yeah. Maybe the third thing to get money is like to be in Netflix TV series, but no.
I need to come up with a Netflix TV series. If you was to come up with a Netflix TV series, what would yours be about?
Our own Netflix TV series.
Oh, about that follows the band, kind of like Spinal Tap.
Wow, that's a tough question.
Have you
Maybe
seen
some.
Spinal Tap?
No, I don't think so.
You need
Yes.
to. As a
Okay.
musician, you really should. It is a 1980s, I want to say, documentary.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mockumentary. It's following.
Documentary, yeah, that's
It's the
I like
first.
this genre.
Well, it's the first ever musical mockumentary. It
Mm.
follows this 80s rock band who's on top, and it follows their history. And it's fucking hilarious because a lot of the stuff is what bands actually deal with on the road, but in like a comedic fashion. Like they arrive at this venue and they were 15 to 20 minutes late getting on stage because they couldn't find where the stage was. Like they're walking through random doors and shit. Like the whole, and then they get on stage and they paid for this big monument to be on stage. The what was it? Help me out, Pink. The big monument that's a bunch of rocks. Uh,
Stonehenge.
Stonehenge. They paid for this big ass Stonehenge, but it turned out to be really small. So they had to hire little people dressed up like leprechauns to dance around it to make it look bigger. Like it is hilarious. And they interview one of the guys and they ask him about all the drummers they've had. They're like, "You've had a lot of drummers. Like, what happened to the first one?" They're like, "Oh, he died." And he said how he died, and it comes out that there's like a curse on the band. They've had like 40 drummers. They're all dead.
Yeah, we had like 40 drummers. They are not dead, but yeah, I we once we thought that we are cursed too. Yeah,
Why
maybe
is it that drummers are so hard to
I don't
come?
know.
Like drummers are so hard to come by, and they're also so hard to keep. Like I've seen so many bands that just lose drummers.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a curse, maybe.
So how
Drummer's curse.
you guys have had 15 drummers. How long have you guys been around? I know you released your debut album in 2016, but
Yeah, 2017. We are like I think about 10 years now.
so you've had like a drummer every year and then some.
I think every half a year. Yeah.
That's fucking awesome though. So you guys been around 10 years, 2017. What made you guys decide to finally release that album
In 2017 or this
in
latest?
2017? Because I know a lot of people nowadays, the reason why I'm asking that is because a lot of people, even in 2017, albums have kind of been like on the back burner for a lot of people. They just release singles now.
We released some singles before the album, and then I've
Yeah.
told you that we are old school guys, so conceptual albums, yeah, and we even do it on CDs. So it's
Where can I get a cassette tape?
uh, you can get a cassette tape. Actually, yeah, you can find it on our Bandcamp, and it's awesome. I say it's yellow. The cassette is yellow,
I'm gonna get
like a sun.
Nice.
I'm gonna get a
Yeah.
cassette and a vinyl.
No
Mm.
vinyl.
I'll make one.
Okay, homemade. Yeah.
How do you make vinyls? Do you know, Pink?
No.
I know that it's very expensive. That's all I know.
It's weird because nowadays it's expensive, but back then, that's like Rob Zombie. I don't know if you watch his movies or not, or like horror at all, but his movies were all done except for the most recent ones. They were all done the original way, like the 1970s and 80s way. They were done on film, and
Yeah,
it went
yeah.
to
I know some artists and some directors are so crazy about this analog stuff, so they continue to film on the film, film on
well,
the film.
they filmed on film. It's weird that they don't film on film anymore. It should be called something different because
Yeah,
that's all film. That's like calling like an album when it's not an album. It's a digital.
release the release. Yeah,
Oh, you call it the release. I still call it the album. And it's funny because nowadays there's a lot of people that's like calling it albums still because we call it albums and they don't even know what the fucking album is.
I like to call the tracks songs because they are not the tracks; they're songs.
Exactly. And I wasn't raised in the generation of vinyl records, but I have them because I love the style.
Mm-hmm.
I was more so the era of going into a Sam Goody or uh, one of them stores and getting a CD. And I kind of miss at CDs of artists I've never before would have heard of and opening it up and actually listening to the CD. Nowadays, you go on Spotify and you can explore, but there's
Yeah.
less of a chance of you finding somebody you wouldn't, because Spotify sets it up to what you listen to.
Yeah. Did you remember? Do you remember the books with CDs?
Yes. I
Yeah.
have one. I still have one in my closet. It's the
Uh,
CD book.
yeah, yeah. Every musicaholic had one or two books. Yeah, they are very
Could you
heavy.
could you imagine if they did that with vinyl records? That'd be a big ass book. I remember when we had cassette tapes in the cars, and then they upgraded to CD players. I'm not sure if you remember or not, but they then went back to cassette tapes because during the time period, it was a switchover from cassette tapes and CDs to digital, but cars didn't have the auxiliary cords yet, so you
Yeah,
had to buy the CD tapes that had the auxiliary plug-in in it.
yeah. I've had the magnetophone with both cassettes and CDs, and I was like the coolest girl in in whole town because I have both the CDs and the cassettes.
I thought I was cool growing up because
No,
I had the TV, they had the DVD player and the VCR. So like I'm like we could watch
I
both.
think our podcast is like millennials. Nostalgia.
Well, the thing is about this show, and I try to communicate this with people, is I don't do the typical interview like I do ask questions obviously for you to get your stuff out there, but I like to talk. I like to get to know the people. I like to make connections and genuine
That's
connections,
great. Yeah.
make friends. Like after this, if you want, add me on Facebook. Let's stay in touch because you're more than welcome on this show. I enjoy your company.
Yeah, me too. Thanks.
It's
Appreciate it.
it's been a lot of fun. So when it came to like we're talking about technology and music, but when you was growing up, what kind of music did you gravitate towards, or did you have any style? Like any specific musician that got you into like saying, "Hey, I want to be a musician," or was it just a mix of music?
Yeah, it was a mix of music, all kind of stuff. Even Britney Spears and all. Oh, when I was a kid. Yeah, I've listened to Linkin Park and Britney Spears, and it's all together in one mix. Yeah, in one playlist.
That was
Yeah, and then I discovered the rock music. It was Russian rock music, I think. Yeah, the first rock compositions. They were pretty bad, the quality and the lyrics and the mixing and mastering, all very, very, very bad. And then I discovered some indie rock music through the radio station. It was called Radio Maximum, and all the millennials, Russian millennials, know this Russian station, radio station. So it was the first time I heard Coldplay, I think. Coldplay and Natalia Imbruglia and this indie rock like style. So I like it a lot. And then I got a CD of, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. It was Nickelback.
Hey, hey,
Oh,
let me let me
no.
let me cut in real quick. All right, Pink is Canadian, but she doesn't like Nickelback.
I'm so embarrassed. Sorry, yeah.
Don't be embarrassed because between
Uh,
you and me, let me get her out of the room real quick so she don't hear me. So, between you and me, I fucking love Nickelback.
yeah, yeah.
I
It
don't
was
know if we can be friends anymore.
No, no, hear me out though.
it was a
Nick
very long time ago. It was like in the previous lives.
Nickelback gets a bad rap, yes, but hear me out. Do yourself a very good service and go in to Nickelback with unjudgmental ears and listen to the music that isn't on the radio. Listen to their music that they
It's
released.
all the same.
No, listen to their first two albums. They were a grunge rock band before they made it commercial.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They were grunge. Yeah.
They were fucking amazing. Now,
Before the hero song and this
yeah,
Spider-Man soundtrack. Yeah.
but I do give them credit, and I get a lot of hate for this, but you got to give them credit. The band is amazing if you don't listen to the big hits on the
Yeah.
radio.
Yeah, and I had the CD with no radio hits, or one or two radio hits, and the other songs were really great for me.
Yeah.
Okay, I was a kid, and that was a huge impulse to find another music, rock music like this, grunge music. So
Well, I heard somewhere, Helen, that Nickelback was smart because they made their money. They went commercial. Who
yeah,
wouldn't
they
want
were
to
very
make
commercial, so commercial.
who wouldn't want to make that money? But they were smart because they didn't go fully commercial. They had a couple commercial hits, and then the rest of the album was fucking banger if you actually listen to it. Now, I read somewhere that Nickelback, if you listen to their album, I think Dark Horse, they started going really heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And Nickelback was friends with a lot of metal musicians like Dimebag of Pantera. And I read somewhere that he might be doing a full fledged metal album in the future with Nickelback because he's done with the commercial shit. And I
No,
hope that's
I'm pretty sure that I won't listen to it anymore, but it was the first step.
Yay! High
see,
five.
I will come to Georgia and we can have a listening party.
Okay, okay.
Let's
Come
do
and
that.
join.
Just chilling out listening to Nickelback. By the way, I am talking about my love for Nickelback while wearing an Iron Maiden shirt.
Oh, I thought you would take it off, and the second t-shirt you were wearing were Nickelback.
At,
just wearing Nickelback and then Iron Maiden up.
at all times, I'm wearing a sweater.
Gross.
Thank you. Thank you. That's the
Yeah.
sweetest thing I've ever heard.
About Nickelback.
Yeah, gross.
So
I've
gross.
had people tell me all kinds of fucked up shit about like bands that I think a lot of bands get a bad rap because publicly they get a bad rap. If people was listening to them without the judgment of the public, I think they would give bands more of a chance.
Maybe,
That's
yeah.
that's kind of like Creed. I don't like Creed, but a lot of the Creed's music gets a lot of hate because it's Creed. Uh, the one thing I don't like about Nickelback though is they have that very cocky college esque attitude. Like it's just turns. It's kind of like Kiss. I get a lot of hate for this too, but I am not a fan of Kiss. Musically, they're good, but the attitude is what kills it for me. Like the whole "we're better than everyone." Like, no, you're not. You're fucking wearing makeup and doing the same songs you've been doing for 40 years. You've not
Yeah.
evolved. You've not,
Yeah.
and I'm not hating. Like, I love their success, but like, don't act like a douche. Like you're still doing shit. You're not.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
you, and that's like a lot of people with the Nickelback thing. They evolved. They went commercial. Yeah, but music should be evolutionary. Like if you feel the need to change, you should change. You should be able to be comfortable because the music at the end of the day, and correct me if I'm wrong, the music at the end of the day and creativity and all of that should be at first for you, the musician, the artist. Write it for you.
Yeah. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. Um, that's uh, that's right. Yep. We
Because a
don't
lot,
do music for the others. Firstly, we do it for ourselves. It's
yes,
selfish and it's awesome.
and that's the thing though is these bands. I agree with some of the backlash, like with Nickelback and shit. Is the music they want to write, they're not writing because it will destroy their commercial success. Fuck that. Write what you want. Write for you.
The big step for Nickelback, I think, was to cut his hair first.
Oh, that was good because it looked like ramen noodles.
Yeah.
do
The second step, it's marriage with Avril Lavigne.
do you remember when that first came out that he was with Avril Lavigne? The
Oh, I
band?
was so mad. I was so mad at him because I thought he would marry me and he married Avril Lavigne. I was very mad.
See, you didn't like the music. You just liked the man. That's that's crazy though. Is like with that there was some backlash when he started dating Avril. And I didn't understand the backlash. People was talking about the age difference, and I'm like, who cares? They're adults.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
who gives a fuck? The only celebrity that I've seen get backlash is the ones that like they're like in their 40s or 50s, and the girl's like 18. Like I get that backlash because like was they waiting? Like was they like, oh, I'm gonna pick her up from high school? She's old enough now. Like that's kind of weird. Like I forget what people did that. And I don't think I should say on here because I might get in trouble. But it's just fucking wild. Some of the people. But oh yeah, you're a musician. Let's talk about your music. Um, so you said your music is available on cassette. Do you plan on going to vinyl anytime soon, or is it just way too goddamn expensive?
Yeah, to we need a lot of money to do the long play. Maybe some distributors will come up and do the music labels. I don't know. We won't do it ourselves, I think. It's too much.
I have a friend, he went vinyl and he actually bought, he ended up having like, I think 10, 20 made or something like that. But it wasn't worth it because the cost he had to make the vinyl due to it being so expensive made it not worth buying. Because people are like, why pay like $50 to $100 for a vinyl when I can just get
Yeah,
the CD?
yeah. Or listen to on Spotify.
You know what I don't like, and I'm getting back into technology again. What I don't like, and this is the millennial in me, I don't like the fact that I bought a laptop recently. No laptops anymore have CD players.
Don't, yeah, yeah, the trace.
They don't have, and that upsets me because I buy these CDs and I have no way to listen to them because nothing has CD players anymore.
Yeah, I feel you. I understand you.
I actually
I,
have
do, I don't like this modernizing too.
I like being able to support musicians and have a physical copy because if I was to go to a friend's house, right, this is and let's say my phone, I don't have Spotify or I don't have whatever technology I need to listen to that person's music, I would like to be able to take
And
that CD to a friend's house and be like, hey, let's listen to this.
the book with CDs,
Yeah,
remember?
the whole book and the Walkman. Remember those? The little fucking CD player that you would hold in your pocket.
Yeah, yeah.
I used to have something called a Zune. I don't know if you had those. You might have had something similar.
I've had, I think Panasonic it was, or so. I don't, not Walkman.
This was when MP3s first started coming out. They had this little like music player, and you'd
Yeah,
load
yeah.
your music on it. And I had one of those, and I must say they don't make technology like they used to because this damn thing got ran over by a car. It got ran over by a school bus. It got left outside in the rain. I'm very like I wasn't very good with my technology, obviously. And this thing still plays to this day if I wanted it to.
Yeah, yeah, it still plays.
I sneeze on my phone and it cracks. Like what the hell? Like look, I got my phone has a crack on it, and it just don't judge me for my background, but my phone it has like a crack down here. Don't judge me, okay?
Oh, okay, okay.
It's Danny DeVito. Do,
He's a
Okay.
great actor.
do you like Danny DeVito?
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I think it's your favorite.
I fucking love It's not my favorite, but I put that as the background on my phone as a joke because a friend of mine was like, "You're wild, you're crazy, you're zany. Like, you should make your background the most obscure thing and see if anybody tries to look at your phone because you know how people are. They get nosy."
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one guy. He's like, "What the fuck is up with your background?" I'm like, "Why are you in my business, bro?" And in my defense, the background's supposed to be a GIF. It's supposed to be him dancing, but I couldn't get it to work. So
Yeah, no technology nowadays that supports GIF on your background.
it's weird because it doesn't on my phone, but my laptop I can do GIFs as the background because I'm running
I
Linux.
won't ask what background is on your laptop.
Yeah, that comes the next episode. I got to leave you on edge. I got. to By the way, we do.
Because he loves edging.
We do. What'd you say?
I said you love edging.
Oh yeah, that's like my second favorite thing. My favorite wrestler was Edge. Um,
Oh, okay.
but we have a Pink Sock podcast hangout where anybody's invited on Mondays. Most Mondays. Sometimes we don't due to events because I do stand up comedy and I do other shit on the side. But you're more than welcome to join us. It is 9:30 p.m. on Mondays, and that is Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, right.
So
I
right
will
on.
have the late evening, but it's okay.
What time zone you in Georgia?
It's GMT, I think.
GMT, that's a car. I'm just kidding. I think that's a
It's half
vehicle.
past 8 now here, PM.
What time is it?
8 PM, 8:39.
Damn. It's like noon here. You guys
Yeah.
got fuck. This time zone thing has me all messed up because my other co-host who's occasionally on here, he's from Australia. He lives in
Oh
Australia.
my God.
Yeah, so it's like
I
3
can
a.m.
imagine.
It's 3 a.m. where he's at. I'm like, bro, you are dedicated to wake up at 3 a.m. And he'll message me. He's like, I'm sorry, I can't do it. And I'm like, bro, I get it. But he has his own podcast. It's called Ghouls Gone Wild. It's a horror and music themed podcast. Uh, he's had a lot of cool guests on there too. Oh, is that
It's
little
Kevin.
Kevin? Her dog's name's Kevin.
Oh. Nice to meet you, Kevin.
Yeah,
Do
he
you, do
said
you
he
have
was.
do you have a pet?
Yeah, I have one, but
Oh, what
she's
do
in
you got?
Moscow. I have a cat. Her
Oh,
name is Uma, like Uma Thurman, because she's my
Aw.
favorite actress.
that is awesome.
And Uma is the Indian goddess as well. So she's my Indian goddess and my favorite actress.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
that's cute.
I've never really explored much into the Indian goddesses and stuff, but I am a big. I'm not religious by any means, but I like learning about other people's culture and life and stuff. And we can go down that rabbit hole next time you're on. But I've been looking into like Greek mythology, and that shit's entertaining. But Pink down here introduced me to something. Uh, are you familiar with Pastafarianism?
Mm,
The Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster.
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, they believe in the flying spaghetti monster. They wear a colander on their head. Now they do have a point.
Yeah,
I want your opinion on this. They do have a point. Uh, you know how science will tell us that we are direct descendants of primates.
yep.
80% of our DNA is primates. Pastafarians don't believe that because 99.9% of our DNA is related to pirates. So we're actually direct descendants of pirates, not primates. So, so that means Johnny Depp should be their god, right? Because he is Captain Jack Sparrow after all.
He is.
Pink?
Um, I'd say he's like Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah, like he's the son of God.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
actually dug into this theory that I thought was interesting. Since your name is, of the band is Sun Q, it has to do with the sun. I read somewhere that in, I don't know what you'd call it, Christian mythology, whatever you'd call it, in the Christian religion, they believe in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Now, they believe that the Son is Jesus or whatever, but if you actually tear it apart, the Son is not SON, it's actually the Sun, SUN.
With you.
That is where they get it wrong, and a lot of paganism, because they took that from pagan religion. The pagans worship the sun and the moon.
Yeah,
Um,
I
and
like it a lot.
and
We even have the song about it,
yes, so
partially about it.
are you guys pagan, or do you just sing about stuff in that? Like, are you like into the occult and all of that? Like the
Yeah, we just sing. Let's say we just sing.
that's
And
fair.
I like Midsummer movie.
The movie Midsummer is fucking that movie. A friend of mine's like, we need to watch Midsummer, and I'm like, I don't trust any movie this person recommends me. And so I was watching it, and I'm like, this is weird, and it was. It was a very weird and unique movie,
It's very uncomfortable.
and I like being uncomfortable
Yeah,
sometimes. You have to be comfortably uncomfortable. Uh,
yeah.
that might be a creepy
Very.
thing to say, but that's but it's a great. Have you seen it, Pink?
No.
It's about this group of
Do
what are they
you
call?
do you like to be comfortably uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Depends. If it's eye things, then no. Like if they're putting their thumbs in their eyes or putting
Um,
needles in them
I don't
or
think
hmm,
you'd like it then, because
yeah, you won't like it.
this movie is pretty much. It's about what were they? College kids.
Yeah.
It's about these college kids. They go to Sweden during midsummer, and they end up hanging out with this cult. I would say, celebrating what they thought was midsummer, and they end up being pretty much tortured and yeah,
Oh.
and
Not all of them.
not all of them, but most of them.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't want to give it away, but it's a crazy ass movie. Midsummer is actually a real thing in Sweden, but that's not what it
Yep.
is. Um,
You can find in Google and in the internet, people ask Uh, is the Midsummer really like in the movie? You know,
Because if so,
is it?
sign me up.
Yeah,
No, I'm just kidding.
yeah,
No.
yeah. Is the Midsummer movie documentary movie?
Like
Yeah, you can find it.
I watched that movie once. So you're into that kind of stuff, like the really
Yeah, yeah.
dark movies. Have you seen the movie? Which one was I thinking of? Sorry, I just drew a blank. Have you like, fuck? It's have you
But
seen,
I don't like horrors. You know, I like these some uncomfortable things. Like a lot of movies of oh my god, god. Um,
I love your ring.
oh, thanks. That's my favorite. It's my lucky ring.
Have you seen the movie Nope?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. I didn't see the movie.
It's
Nope.
actually a extraterrestrial film. It is actually directed by Jordan Peele. He was of the famous comedy duo Key and Peele. He became a horror movie director and producer. This movie is fucking great. It is probably my favorite movie that has to involve aliens, but it's not like your typical extraterrestrial movie. Um,
Hmm.
it is wild. It will make you kind of uncomfortable.
I,
Um,
I will write it down. Yeah. So the director I wanted to talk about, I want to tell you about it's Shyamalan. So he knows how to make things uncomfortable. Yeah.
he's the king of it. He's the king of
Yeah.
that kind of shit.
And
Like,
I like it. Yeah.
wow. Now I need to get on the rabbit hole of those movies because it's
Oh
been a
my
while.
God.
I watched, and it's more of like a gory horror movie. I know you said you're not into horror, but like I found it interesting. I went to the movie theaters one time, and me and my friend went and saw a movie called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. And they're making a sequel. They released a commercial. Basically, what happened was, and it's happening a lot. We're going back to the Grimm brothers as we were talking about the Grimm fairy tales.
Mm-hmm.
Those and a
Yeah.
lot of other fairy tales like Winnie the Pooh are now available in the public domain because the licensing is up.
Mm-hmm.
Disney's versions of them is still copywritten, but they can use the original images. So this
Great.
guy took Winnie the Pooh and made him a horror movie.
Cool. Cool.
It is like Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Oh. Okay.
meets Winnie the Pooh, and it is
Mm.
fucking wild. You need to
Yeah.
watch it.
I think like Tarantino's will like it. This stuff.
It's wild because you have Piglet and Winnie the Pooh, which are the two that's in this movie, the first movie. It's about these Christopher Robin ended up befriending this human animal hybrids, and he befriended them, and he did all this stuff, and then he went away to college, and he completely forgot about them and left them alone to starve in the woods, and they were very vengeful. But he went back 15 years later to visit his old friends, only to be tortured by them. And then these college kids end up staying in a cabin nearby, and they end up discovering this, and they end up being stalked by Winnie the Pooh and Piglet. It sounds dumb.
No, no, it's cool, but you gotta write the spoiler alert, you know, on your podcast.
I need to do what?
Spoiler
Yeah.
alert.
That would be fucking. I would love it, and I love that idea because could you imagine now that it's public domain? Could you imagine a real Cinderella movie or a real Snow White movie?
Yeah.
Do you know what Snow White was about? The original?
Oh, it's something about necrophilia, I think.
No, that was Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, yeah.
Sleeping Beauty, she was actually dead, and he was trying to have sex with her until she came back to life. Yeah, he tried fucking her back to life. That's
Oh.
putting it lightly. But Snow White was about, and it was like step parent shit. The stepmom was trying to kill Snow White, who was the stepdaughter, and she found out about it, and she escaped into the woods where she met seven dwarves, and they took care of her. And the stepmother found out that she didn't actually get killed off by the hitman, so she went and tried poisoning her with an apple, and it ended up backfiring, and the stepmother ended up dying. Um, the
Well,
Little
ruin
Mer-
the whole
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, we know this story. So the seven dwarfs are.
Sleepy. I know Sleepy because I live in Ohio and there's a big drug problem. So Sleepy is like the main guy for us. No, Sleepy, angry. What was all of them? Sleepy, angry, bashful. Uh,
I
I
don't
think
think there's an angry.
I think there was a horny one. I don't know. You got all the.
Wasn't
That's
there
not
a
kind of that
dopey?
movie. No, no, we
Oh, that was the wrong movie. Oh, I downloaded the wrong Seven Dwarfs.
yeah.
There was angry. I thought, or am I thinking of a different movie?
I can Google it.
We all have. I like how we have technology in our hands. We have all the answers.
Yeah,
We're
we're
still
all
trying
sitting here with stuff and we're like, oh, what was that Seven Dwarfs name?
You know which one is really fucked up? I actually read it. Was the original Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid is about, of course, the Little Mermaid Ariel is wanting to get with this prince that she saw from the water. But in order to become a human and try to seduce him, she has to cut out her own tongue and give it to the she don't even have a name. Ursula don't even have a name in the original book, but she gave it to the sea queen or whatever. She became human. Now the rule was is she had to make the prince fall in love with her. If he doesn't, she turns into sea foam and dies. And that yeah, and we know how that turns out. It's not the same story. He doesn't fall in love, and yeah, it's not Disney.
Yeah, we all need, I think, a Netflix series about the original
I think we know
fairy
that. There's a
original
lot of people.
tales.
There's a lot of people that don't know that though. We're the fucked up ones that do know.
Yeah.
Like, so what else would you like to promote to the world? Because we've got people in Australia, Germany. I'm bigger in other places than the states. Ain't that bad? That's fucking,
That's like a world popularity.
yeah. I have a little bit of sprinkle here and there. Now in Canada. So what would you like to promote? I know you've got the new album, which is fucking amazing. I would play some of the music here, but I don't want to get in trouble for copyright because you know how that works.
Okay, yeah. Um, I would like to tell that if you buy the physical stuff, yeah, the CDs or cassettes, you can find there the bonus track. So it's not on any streaming platform. We didn't release it as a digital soundtrack. So this bonus track it's only on physical CDs and it's awesome. It's synthwave, dark synthwave folk rock. I don't know.
Now
I
I
can
need
even, yeah.
to buy it. I need to buy it. What's the name of this track, if you don't mind me asking?
I haven't before.
I'm I'm not sure if it came with the copy that I have, so I'm gonna have to buy the physical copy. But
That's why we do it. Yeah.
like, you've got me on the edge of my seat because I love music. I fucking love music. I love talking to people. Like, this has been a pleasure. You are a fantastic human being to talk to. So you're always
Oh,
more than welcome back on the show. Even if you don't have nothing to talk about, obviously we can find something. We can. I need to watch some
we can
more.
talk about Shyamalan, of course, every time. Yeah.
I need to watch more Shyamalan because I've only seen a
Uh,
few of his movies.
you should see his movie named Visit, Visit.
You should add me on Facebook and send me a list of movies to
Okay,
watch
okay.
because we need to stay in touch because this has been a pleasure. What is the future in your mind of Sun Q? You plan on touring? You want?
The future is blurry nowadays, but we struggle. We try to make new stuff. We do have some demos, so we'll try to um, show them to the some music labels. I think.
Fucking
Yeah.
poop. So you guys are still writing more music, obviously. But what do you do
Yeah,
outside of
we
music?
cannot not to write. It's pretty hard not to continue.
So what do you do outside of music? Like, was you always into like writing poetry, or was it like always music, or do you have other hobbies that you like to explore?
I have many. I actually for the money I do some social media marketing and uh, copywriting. Not the poetry though.
So I might need
Uh,
your help
okay.
because I know nothing. I'll be honest. I know nothing about marketing, and I know nothing about copywriting. So I need a little bit of like business knowledge
Yeah, why not? Why
because I
not?
don't know. I don't know nothing. That's my downfall is I don't know how to promote, I guess.
Yeah, me neither. I know how to promote the others, and it's so hard to promote yourself. It's so unbelievably hard to write about your own creations,
Like
and to
I always have that problem. People's like, "What's your podcast about?" I'm like,
uh,
what episode?" Because like I go down rabbit holes, and it's hard. Musically, podcast, stand up comedy. It doesn't matter what your art form is. Do it for you first. Don't do it for the fame. Don't do it for the money. Then you'll just upset yourself. But
hmm,
it's hard to promote when it's an oversaturated market to begin with. Like it's wild to me. Like every day I get sent a shit ton of music to listen to, a shit ton of podcasts to listen to. I'm like, guys, I only have so much time. Like, you've got to stand out, and you guys are doing a great job at standing out because I love
oh,
that
thanks.
classic, that classic sound, but with a modernized twist.
See, that's a good lining. That's a good you have.
You can
It's
you
from
can take it. You can you can
I
take it.
should take it for the press release.
Yeah, take it for the press release. Do it for the press. Your voice though is so, and I'm not trying to kiss your ass or nothing, but it's so like angelic in a way that like it just fits the music so well.
Thanks. Because we do it together, it's very organical way to um, create these compositions, this music and the lyrics. It all works together with the voice, with the arrangement. It's not that we do it separately. We always do it together, and I think that this works well when you try to, the music shows up the advantages of the voice and
But how does that
everything. Yeah.
how
Mhm.
does your songwriting, sorry to interrupt, but how does your songwriting process work though? Like do they write the instrumentals and you write the vocals with it, or do you already have the lyrics and you make it work with whatever instrumentals they have?
It's very different with every song. Both ways, different ways. We can do it uh, without lyrics, with the lyrics. Maybe the riff is the first one to come. Maybe the melody, maybe the text is very different every time. I think Dionysus was the lyrics first or the riff. I really don't remember. And we thought that it would be cool to mix up the ancient Greece mythology with some stoner rock psychedelia. Why not?
I love the
Fun.
psychedelia and I love the Greek mythology because I don't know too much about Greek mythology. We can probably go down that rabbit hole too eventually. But like I love it because it just brings that out. Have you ever listened to the band? This is my ADHD acting up. Have you ever listened to the band Coven?
Uh, I've heard the name, but I didn't remember. Cannot remember the music. I think
Coven came out
Coven.
in
Mm-hmm.
like the 60s, I do believe, the late 60s, or actually early 60s, I think. They came out and they were like an occult rock band. They weren't heavy, but they were like kind of like Jefferson Airplane kind of. But they wrote a lot of really dark lyrics.
Hmm.
and the lead singer would do this. Now, the famous Devil Horns, before they were famous, their bassist. Now, this is where things get kind of murky. Their bassist, Oz Osbourne, wrote these very dark, almost borderline satanic lyrics. Actually, they were satanic lyrics at the time. Then in the late 60s, out came Black Sabbath, who also sung occult lyrics and had a singer by the name of Ozzy Osbourne. And then in the 80s, Ronnie James Dio started doing this. Now, Dio said that it was because his grandma pointed like that, which I believe Dio. Everyone has their own, this is supposed to cast out demons stuff. But I find it very weird that their careers collided, but supposedly neither band heard of each other. And it's just crazy, but you should check out Coven. They're a very underrated rock band, and I think you would appreciate their music
Yeah, and the lyrics.
and the lyrics. Even if you don't follow that kind of like lifestyle or that kind of direction spiritually or whatever have you, it is very interesting to hear them sing about it. And it's weird because I listen to music of all different walks of life, and people are like, "What are you?" Like, I'll be like, I will listen to. There's this Christian metal band that I listen to. Their name is Demon Hunter. They're Demon Hunter. They're a death metal Christian metal band. And then
Yeah,
I'll listen to Behemoth. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with Behemoth, but
yeah, I
they're
know.
a very satanic black
Yeah,
metal band.
and Spotify playlists that suggest you music like don't know what to suggest, Christian or satanic.
They don't know. And
They're kind of confused.
I also, one of my favorite artists of all time. Let's see if you can guess. Who do you think is one of my, and any name that you name will probably be right because I have a huge list of favorite artists.
Okay. What is the question? Your favorite artist
Yeah,
of
what do
all
you think
times?
by looking at me? What do you think my favorite artist is? This is a
Oh,
fun
I'm
game.
gonna
Like
answer too.
You first.
Weird Al Yankovic.
Weird Al Yankovic. I actually, it's kind of yeah. I know that's the look. I was just naming all kinds of heavy bands. Weird Al. I've seen him 4 times in concert, and he's actually one of the best shows I've ever seen. Between him, Alice Cooper, and Iron Maiden, they're the best performances ever. And it's not just because he sounds good, but his costume changes, and he will walk through the crowd and sing to the audience members. Like he's very. Do you like Weird Al?
I
Um,
love them.
This won't make or break the friendship. You don't have to lie. You know? No, not into the
uh,
parody stuff.
no, I can tell nothing about it, unfortunately.
He writes. He has original music, but he's known for making fun of other artists' music. Like he'll parody them. But
Hmm.
what's interesting to say is he's actually a very good accordion player. He plays polka,
Yeah.
and he actually will take popular songs, like a bunch of popular songs, and mash them into one song, and it's a polka song. And it's
Yeah, you have to be very talented to do it.
yeah, like he took alternative rock songs, like he took System of a Down and made them polka. And I'm like, okay, no, it's not that I love the music, but I appreciate it enough to enjoy the music, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. So when you told that you loved polka, you were not kidding
I
at
wasn't
all.
kidding at all. It's not that it's weird to explain from an outsider, like to explain to outsiders, but it's not that I actively seek out polka. It's not that it's something that I listen to every day, but
Yeah.
I appreciate the art form and it's unique. I love the uniqueness. And that's kind of why I like Frank Zappa, the uniqueness of music. And you guys are very unique. And I love unique music. I don't like when musicians like, and if it's for them, that's cool, but when they pick a band that they like and they mimic exactly what that band is doing. And I've seen so many bands do that. Or when a band finds one hit song that they like that works for them and they just keep redoing it.
Yeah,
Like that
that
happens
sucks.
that
Yeah.
happens a lot. And I'm a big believer in one hit wonders. There's a lot of bands, they're one hit wonders where they have one song that's famous.
Hmm.
And if I find one, I like to listen to all of their albums from beginning to end,
Except this one song.
except the hit, and find what songs I like. And sometimes they have a huge discography of songs that are amazing, but they never made it huge in the States, though. And you from Russia, you probably have noticed this in the States. There are artists that are huge elsewhere, but not big in the States. Like Aha, for instance.
Hmm. Hmm.
Aha is like huge in Britain and shit. Like they headline festivals, but in the States, they're known for Take On Me.
Only.
Only. That's
Hmm.
the only fucking song. But if you go to like Britain, they're like Take On Me. That wasn't even a hit here. And you're like, wait, what? Like, that's crazy. Like, so when it comes to Russian artists, though, you said that you really enjoy some of the Russian artists. Some you said was really badly, badly done. But what are some Russian artists that you recommend?
I will write you on Facebook the list.
Oh, there's a whole fucking list. I'm gonna,
Yeah.
Jesus. Like, any of it in English or is it all in Russian? I don't care either way. But
Uh, the modern bands sing in English too, but I think you will like some Soviet stuff.
I'll have to check it out.
You even I can even send you some avant-garde Russian music like Kuryohin and other guys. They did really mad stuff. Uh, they try uh, to make the new genre, new style of music, and this is what interesting.
I will have to
Yeah.
check that out because I do love music from like other countries. I know it's not Russian, but like I was big into Rammstein, German new metal. I don't know if you've industrial. I think you'd
No,
consider.
of course I know it. Yeah, and they tour a lot in Russia. Russians
They don't come to
love
the states.
Rammstein.
They don't
I
come to
don't
the
know why.
states. They don't come to the states very
They
often.
because they come to Russia.
Well, also because the United States, if I'm not mistaken, banned them for like 15 years from coming here, or
Yeah.
10 or something like that, because of a
Oh, okay.
dildo.
Ah,
They got in trouble for having a dildo on stage. And I'm like, we have
ah,
Marilyn Manson in the States doing whatever
yeah.
Manson does, but we but we can't have Rammstein.
Maybe Manson was the one who tried to cancel the uh, Rammstein gigs, out of envy.
Maybe because I do
No.
see, and I find it kind of dumb, and it's going down this rabbit hole. Fuck it. We mentioned canceling, and it does happen in music a lot, but it seems like the focus went away from music and went towards comedy. People are trying to cancel comedians now for shit they're saying, and I'm like, why? And I'm not saying that it's a new thing because comedians used to get arrested for shit they said.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to say that in some countries you are not only cancelled, you're all arrested as well.
Well, in the 60s, I don't know if you knew this or not, but in the 60s and 70s, there was a list of comedians. There was like three big ones that would get arrested on a damn near weekly basis for shit they said on stage, and they didn't care. It was George Carlin, Lenny Bruce, and Richard Pryor. Those three kept getting arrested for shit they were saying. It got so bad that George Carlin went on stage one time and was doing his material. It was at a festival and they told him, "Here's what you can't say, or you'll get arrested." He gets on stage like, "Sir, this is what they don't want me to say," and he went through the words. Like
Uh,
he's like, "They don't want me to say shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, tits, fart, turd, and twat." And then he went through each individual word and tore them apart as to why they shouldn't be bad words and why it's stupid that they don't want him to say it. And the crowd gave him a standing ovation as he was being arrested.
oh wow.
And
Great story. Yeah. Wow.
he sued the government and won. He sued our government and won because they're like telling him that it's obscenity laws, is what they called it. And it's probably the same in Russia. It's obscenity laws. And he's like, how can you in a country where you have freedom of speech supposedly have obscenity laws?
Because freedom of
Yeah.
speech. Yeah.
It's not there's no freedoms, but we don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But I don't want to take up too much of your time. We've been talking for an hour and it feels like 5 minutes.
Oh, I have a lot. I have full evening.
You have a full evening. Don't say that because we'll definitely be diving through some shit. Have you heard? We are actually doing an episode Monday, and by the time this premieres, it may have already happened. But have you
Mhm.
heard of the Fediverse? It is the new form of social media that is starting to come out.
No. Oh my God, I feel so old.
Me too. But the Fediverse is actually basically what they're doing is they're taking the internet and they're updating it, but they're going
Shutting
back,
it down.
no, they're going back to the old way it used to be.
Oh, I
But
like it. I like it.
they're modernizing it. The way that the Fediverse works is they have different social media platforms within it, but you
Hmm.
connect to a server on that platform and you can connect to people on all the different platforms. Like, for instance, they have their own version of Facebook, their own version of Instagram, all of that. So, like, let's say you're on their version of Facebook and your friend is on their version of Instagram. You can still follow them and talk to one another and see their posts.
Uh-huh.
So you're basically not stuck to one social media platform. And what's even cooler about it is let's say you don't like this platform anymore, you can actually download all your data, posts, and followers and move it to the next platform and server.
Do they pay you?
Unfortunately, not, but you can actually get sponsors of your own
Uh-huh.
if you wanted. They're basically an uncommercialized platform. So you have freedom of speech depending on your server you're on and your country. And as long as you follow the law, they don't give a shit.
Cool. Cool. But I think that's just another social platform. It's not like you will cancel all the others and you will shut down all the others. It's
Yeah, that's not
just
what they're
like,
trying to do. They're just trying to give an alternative to like because people are getting posts taken down on Facebook for like no reason. Facebook just says, "Hey, we don't want this." They're trying to find an alternative to do that. And here's the thing that's really interesting is it's not catching on a lot in the States yet. However, Instagram and Facebook owner Mark Zuckerberg released something called Threads, which is like Twitter, but it's hooked up to Instagram. And he
yeah,
announced that Threads is going to be part of this universe, this Fediverse
meta.
universe.
Hmm.
So it's going to be able to communicate with people on it. And I actually found recently on Facebook and Instagram, you can actually download your data now and transfer it elsewhere. So they might be slowly implementing these platforms as well. So we may have them on the same platform as this, but separate, if that makes any sense. They can communicate with one another, but they're still separate.
Hmm.
And that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm very libertarian.
So, what do you think of that? You think that's a better idea? Because if you think about it, I don't think social media should be separated. I don't like the idea of, hey, all of my followers should have to get this platform, even though they have this one, in order to follow me. They should be able to follow me from wherever the hell they're at.
Yeah, this concentration in one place, yeah. So you have only one link, and everybody can connect to you
Yeah,
using this link. It's pretty great, yeah. And
yeah.
the freedom of speech is pretty great too.
The
Um,
only the only thing that turns people off is the whole server thing, because unlike
mhm,
Facebook and Instagram and Threads, they all have one server that polices the platform. The Fediverse is a little different. They have multiple servers under that platform, and you get to pick like whichever one you want. So each one has their own set of rules, sometimes their own topics, whatever. So once you pick
mhm.
that, then you're fine. As long as you follow your server's rules. Now, if your server starts doing shit you don't agree with, you can just pack your shit up and leave. So I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
It's
basically
cool.
own your own thing. You're more than welcome to join us on that episode. It is actually Monday at 9:30 p.m. Um, we're going to dive down that rabbit hole, and I'm going to explain it in detail, how it works, the downfalls of it, the positives. It's in the early stages. It's been around for about 10, 15 years, but it's just now starting to take traction
Mm-hmm.
because Twitter, when Elon Musk bought it, a lot of people didn't like the things he was doing, so they jumped to what's called Mastodon, which is basically the Twitter alternative over on that universe. And people loved it over there because as long as you let people know it's adult content, you can post whatever you want. So a lot of people are like, we're not having shit removed, or like
Mm-hmm.
models and shit wasn't having things removed, so they just stayed there. And I like it over there. Like it's fucking awesome. So you should check it out. Look into it.
Okay.
I'm
Another social platform.
I'm trying what I'm trying to do is I love the whole freedom thing, the free platform, the open source, everybody being able to communicate. So I'm trying to get my friends to join me on this journey because I'm staying on Facebook, of course, to communicate with people. But eventually I'd like to get off Facebook because as a comedian and a podcaster, there's a lot of posts that I've had removed and they won't explain to me why.
Mm-hmm.
They just say, hey, it's been removed. And I'm like, we have a whole radio station that we're creating. Um, you're not allowed posting the website on Facebook anymore. If you type in, by the way, we are cannabis advocates. I don't know how you view weed as a medicine or whatever. And I don't judge people based on their beliefs, but we are cannabis advocates over here. And we have a radio station called WPOT.live. That we're working on, and it's cannabis themed, but you don't have to be a cannabis advocate to be on it. We push free speech. We push human, what's that word? Autonomy, uh,
Autonomy.
which is basically self-governing. You should be able to say or do whatever you want as long as you're not hurting anyone. But due to us promoting human autonomy, which we think is what it is the reason, if you type in wpot.live on any comment or anything, they will flag you immediately and not let you post it or comment it.
Yeah.
And they do that with a lot of websites, and it's fucked up.
Yeah. They even try to uh, make less views when you post some
Mhm.
YouTube videos and try to promote something made not on the meta, not with the Facebook instruments, you know.
Well,
Mm.
I'm tired of
It's so
fighting.
yeah, it's so uncomfortable because when I do a video, yeah, now I must do separately reels in Instagram, separately reels in Facebook, separately in Russian social media. It's called VK, if you know. Yeah, and it's awful because it's so much. It I need so much time to do
That's why
one short video. Yeah.
that's why I like the idea of everything being connected because if everything went to this platform, you go live on TikTok, for instance, people on Facebook could see it. Like you're not limited to one platform. And I don't like having to promote myself on four different platforms posting the same shit.
Yeah.
Like and also being
Same
censored.
sheet and in different ways and instruments using different instruments. So
Yeah,
you cannot copy the video from TikTok and post it to Facebook. You should make your own Facebook video.
which I don't know. It's weird because I have gotten to the point where it gets annoying in a way because I try to promote, but a lot of people don't see my posts that want to because the algorithm is built against up and coming people.
Yep. And they want you to pay the advertising,
Yep.
yeah, promoting your stuff.
Yeah, because we've been promoting this podcast for 5 years and I have a decent following, but like a lot of my following don't get to watch it. until it's long been out because they're not being told it's out because all of my stuff is not on their algorithm, even though they're following me. It's been pushed and they get shit from people they don't even follow. And I'm like, why are you getting ads? I get it, they pay for the advertising thing,
Yeah.
but you should only get ads from people you follow or people that like are similar to the people you follow.
Yeah, and don't forget that they like to collect your personal data and
Yeah. And they
this,
sell it.
yeah, yeah, and they sell it, and uh, they they do not, they actually tell you, yeah, we sell your personal data. Yeah, of
Well,
course.
that's the thing with the Fediverse I've been telling people. And people complain about the data thing and they complain about what social media is doing. But how many of us are actually making the step to leave? How many of us are actually doing something about it?
Yeah, we are in the trap of this social
With
media.
with with the Fediverse, they don't do that. They don't sell your data. Your data is yours.
Yeah, I get it. It's a very web free thing like blockchain and
And
stuff. Very
the
transparent. Yeah.
the issue though is I get why nobody's going to it because we're so comfortable with Facebook.
Yeah,
Back,
it's the same with crypto and with blockchain
yeah,
because you tell that federal banks are bad and you should try crypto and you should try blockchain and yeah, a lot of people are just used to this kind of money, this form, and it takes you know decades to transform this
it does because
mindset.
Bitcoin is now becoming more popular than ever, and that took fucking 15
Yeah,
years.
yesterday it hits all-time high and goes even higher.
See, my issue is I don't understand how to do Bitcoin because it seems like a gamble to me. Like,
Uh, no, you should check it. It's not a gamble. I think
you
it's
need
the
to, like,
future of the banking system.
whenever you're not busy, I'll need to have an episode where we either A, talk about Bitcoin or even in private because I would like to talk about these things because I want to understand them.
I
But
think with your philosophy, yeah, and your mindset and the things you're trying to do about the decentralization, you will dig in crypto and Bitcoin. Not only Bitcoin, there are other good, uh, cool coins. So
so
I think that's the thing you should dig in, and you will definitely like it
the only
because
thing
it's about freedom, it's about decentralization, it's about trans transparency.
I love that because that's what
Yeah.
I want. But I guess I was kind of afraid because I want to take all of my money and put it into like some sort of a like protected currency like Bitcoin or whatever. But I know a lot of people can lose money that way too. Um,
You should not put all your money in one basket, you know, not all the eggs in one basket, but you should try maybe uh, to oh God, how do I say it? Um, to read more about it, yeah, and if it's legal, why not?
yeah, because
I don't know.
Bitcoin is now
I
available in
don't know if
Poland.
it's legal to buy it from your credit card now, but there are some other ways.
You know how funny that would be? Buy it with a credit card and then just file bankruptcy. That'd be some fucked up stupid shit. I think that's illegal though. I would not recommend doing that. I I saw Bitcoin is like what, like a hundred, like in the thousands now for one Bitcoin. I think.
Sorry,
How much is Bitcoin now? I think one Bitcoin's like a few hundred, maybe $1,000.
69,000
Jesus,
dollars.
fucking, that's a good number. But 69.
Yesterday it was 70. Yeah, it's the all-time high of this coin.
I saw Dogecoin is getting big too.
Yeah.
All these meme
No,
coins.
it's like meme coin. Yeah. Uh, it only goes up when there is hype. So
Yeah,
when there is no hype around, it's not interesting. I really don't get these meme coins because I'm not in this Twitter meme context. But I like to read about some interesting coins. There are a lot, like millions.
wasn't Bitcoin the first cryptocurrency?
Yeah,
Damn, that was a
yeah. It's
while
the
ago.
it's the first, and all the others are called altcoins, so alternative coins.
Remember back in the day, the good old days of millennialhood, when we all only had one social media platform, and it was MySpace. Um,
We didn't have MySpace back in my teenage years. We didn't have MySpace,
would you
but
have?
we did have this. Oh my God, these awful chats. Yeah, and
Oh,
we
yeah,
uh,
the
we
stats
we
were
we
first.
had Quip, and ICQ.
I remember.
Oh yeah, we had ICQ here.
Yeah, we had.
It's
I
fun.
forgot about ICQ. That was before MySpace. They had ICQ, AOL. Well, it was called AIM. But then MySpace hit, and there was other social media platforms before that. But that was the first big one
I
that I.
I don't really remember the first social media, like not Messenger, but the social media. Hmm. It wasn't Facebook. Uh,
See, it might have been different for you because you was in
yeah,
Russia.
we have Russian social media, huge, really huge. It's like Facebook, I think. Yeah, it's called VK. It's pretty the same, of course, because they all copy from each other. Yeah,
Nowadays, yes, that is
but
true.
you can, but it's a streaming platform as well, so you can listen to music there
They did that with
legally.
MySpace recently.
Yeah,
Like, that's fucking.
and
We've got a W pot coming up, as I mentioned earlier. It's going to be a. We're planning on. It's going to have its own app, and it's going to be a radio podcasting streaming platform, and it's going to also have an interactive chat. Um,
cool
we're
for
actually,
millennials.
yeah, for millennials, and what we do plan on doing eventually, it's going to be a while, but we might create our own social media platform. I'm not sure how that's going to work. It's just something we've been thinking about. So that's going to be cool. I'm just the comedian podcaster on the network. I don't have much say in it. I just know things. I just know things and say shit. That's what that's what I do. I just I mean, we have an app though in the works. Pink, you know more about this than I do. You talk. I feel like I've not let you talk.
Um, no, I do DJing on there, which is fun. Um, but I don't know. I was like, I don't know what they're doing with it.
I
No,
was always interested in how do the DJs pick the tracks they want to put in the broadcast. So, is it only your mood, or the some mm, what are the parameters of picking up tracks for your broadcast, like a DJ?
um, it's all just really on my mood. Like some days I'll be like, oh, we're gonna listen to early 2000s, like all of this stuff from my high school. And
Uh-huh.
then I might switch it up to oldies where it starts off with Lola and the Kinks, all that kind of
Uh,
stuff. So, yeah, it switches up every day. Like, and if you guys are on Deezer, I'll gladly play you on there if you don't mind.
yeah, I think we are on Deezer. I'm not on Deezer,
Yeah?
but Sankyu is on Deezer.
Okay,
Yeah, thanks.
so
cool.
did you have any bands before Sun Q or is Sun Q your first?
No, it's my first. Yeah. I
And you
didn't.
guys,
I didn't perform in or sung in a band before.
damn. I used to do some music. I'm doing music now a little bit. There's a local hip hop group. We're doing a little bit of comedy skits and stuff with music. It's going to be fun. I just created characters and shit. Like I said earlier, I have ADHD, so it's just my thoughts just on paper. I get weird, crazy, funny thoughts all the time. It's like airwaves. And I heard a theory recently. I'm about to blow your mind. You know how we're coming out with AI technology and the AI is understanding and everything, and the AI
Yeah.
might be getting emotions and shit might become human like. What if we're just AI to whatever the bigger being is? Because all thoughts are is radio waves that just come through our head. So who and what is creating them radio waves?
It's pretty uncomfortable to
Think
think
about
about this.
And also, do we really have self control and control? Because thoughts, are they really part of us? They just come.
When I write the lyrics for the songs, sometimes I think that it's not me writing it down. It's the song writing itself, like through
Mhm.
me.
It's the
It,
universe.
it's yeah, it's magical and weird stuff happening.
I'm that way with comedy and like some of the songs that I write is I just think of it because if I try to write anything, it's garbage. But if I
Yeah,
sit
yeah,
there
the
and just let
same.
it, if I just let it
Yeah,
happen, I'm like the universe is speaking to me and through me.
yeah,
Um,
it's the same.
it's just basically the experience, the human experience that I am currently experiencing, and that is how the universe is speaking to me directly. And I saw various interviews with the actor Jim Carrey. I don't know if you follow him or not, but he gets really deep. And he's like, the one question that none of us can answer is, who are you? Because we are not. None of us are exist. We are just a shell with a soul inside of it, and we all experience things through the own human experience, and we're actually all connected. I am you, you are me. I am this cup. We are we
Yep.
are we are all energy connected, and the ego is what makes us afraid to do shit or afraid to chase our dreams, but it's also that ego that makes us feel unaccomplished. So we
Yeah.
constantly chase success when success is within us. There's an idea
Have you
for a
seen
song.
the movie I Heart Huckabees?
No, I have not. Who's the Huckabees?
Um, it's Huckabees is a store
Oh, okay.
in the movie, but they talk about the blanket theory and how we're all connected, and
We are, I believe so.
it's a whole like the whole movie's about that.
Well, we are all made up of energy. That has been proven scientifically. We are all made of energy. It is also proven scientifically that energy cannot be destroyed or recreated. So, if energy cannot be destroyed or recreated, we never die.
Yeah.
Death is a human made concept. Um, it is a concept because the human brain cannot acknowledge what it doesn't understand, so it just comes up with theories. So,
Oh, yeah. When I think about it, I just know that we are in this so early stage of knowing things, like
yeah,
very early stage of understanding things.
I read somewhere that it is a belief, even some scientists believe this is the reason why some people can live very unhealthy lifestyles but live long lives, is because it's a mental thing. Illness is
Mm,
mental, and you can actually cure and reverse disease through your mental state and also through medicine that is beyond traditional. I don't like traditional medicine. They say that there's traditional medicine and then there's that nonsense snake oil. That nonsense snake oil shit is what is real. Like it's earth. Now, I have a friend who cured and reversed his cancer twice without traditional means. He did what is called RSO. They take what they do is they take the cannabis plant and they extract the oils out of it, and they take it in the purest form. And I don't know the science behind it. I think maybe the cancer cell just gets too stoned, it forgets why it's there. I'm not sure, but it shrinks tumor cells and it kills them essentially. And it's been known to cure various other
Yep.
ailments. Um, and I believe anything is reversible through the right mindset and the right diet, really, because we are designed to eat certain foods. That is a fact. And it is wild to me that we as a society have accepted these major corporations poisoning us. We've just accepted it. We're like, oh, that's like
Yeah.
I
As well as social media.
social media is poison too, and I'll be honest, I'm addicted to it. I got a phone, I got social media on
Yeah,
it.
we all are.
We all
Yeah.
are. But what is the difference between us nowadays on Facebook all the time or messaging our friends and our grandparents reading the newspaper all the time?
Pretty not much
It's
difference.
the same. It's the same
Yeah.
thing. It's just not on paper, and
Yeah.
it's less local. It used to be like local ads and shit, but like people used to put things in the newspaper, like we do posts. So it's not much different. The only difference is when they wanted to talk to somebody, they would call them. And I prefer text messages. Um,
Yeah, me too.
like I love video calls like this, but I don't like actual being on the phone talking. I don't mind it, but I'd rather a video so I can see your face, or I'd rather a text
Yeah.
because you can't read context and you can't read what people mean. You can on the phone, but through text you can't. But if it's serious, like if it's something that you can just tell me, like, hey, I need this or whatever, cool. But if you need to talk to somebody, then video chat me. I want to be able to see the context. But like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of an old soul, but I love technology.
Uh,
Like, it's a
yeah.
love hate relationship.
Now, a lot of my friends and I, myself too, think that artificial intelligence, we thought that it's gonna be um, amazing and it will um, make all the hard work. Yeah, it will make all the technological work and mechanical work. But why the hell the artificial intelligence uh, does the intellectual and creative work? That's the question. And I'm so mad about it because we thought it would do all the stuff, but not creative. And we have creative AI instead of
I,
uh,
I get where you're coming from, but I
yeah,
also heard an argument the other day. They're like, well, what's the difference between AI writing a song and somebody having a ghostwriter do it? It's a very similar aspect. The one thing I do hate about I dislike it, is they can mimic your voice and make it say anything. That
yeah.
is terrifying as a podcaster and comic because the last thing I want to do is be canceled for something I didn't actually say. Like if I said it, cool, come after me. But if I didn't
Mm-hmm.
say it, but that also helps me because if something comes out, I'm like, oh, that wasn't me. That was AI. That wasn't me. It's
You see,
it's a double.
they even can make the video of you.
Yeah, and did you see that they did that with Ozzy Osbourne recently? They had him covering "Still the One." It's a country song, I think, by Shania Twain. They had a cover of him singing it, but it wasn't actually him. And then they also released a full-on comedy special of George Carlin's, and it sounded kind of like him. It wasn't full-fledged. You can tell the difference. It's very
Yeah,
different. But the delivery and the jokes and everything was exactly something he would say.
Yeah.
Like that is terrifying.
crazy. Yeah.
They're actually getting sued for that.
Even
Like that's fucking brutal. So you should definitely come on again. We actually have to cut this off here shortly because I work for what we call corporate America right now. I'm trying to get out of that. But if you want to come on, you're more than welcome.
Okay.
I know you got
Thanks.
other podcasts you got to do, and you're a busy woman. But hit me up on Facebook. Send me all them artists. Stay in touch because it's been a
Thanks.
pleasure.
It's
Um,
been a pleasure to meet you.
go check out.
Thanks for the inviting. Hmm?
Of course, I. You're always welcome on. We have those hangouts, like I said, on Mondays. There will be a link in the comments or in the description. You're always welcome
Okay.
to swing by if you like the topic. Um,
Yep.
we don't always stick on topic, as you realized today. I don't like having the topics at hand. Like I know the band, I know what they've done, I know all that shit. I do read, I do my research, but the conversation never goes as planned anyway.
It's a rabbit hole podcast.
Rabbit hole. That should be the new name of the podcast. Rabbit
Yeah.
hole. That might already be taken. But thank you so much, darling, for coming
Thank
by.
you, Mike.
You are incredible. Stay in touch. Um,
Thank you.
go check out SunQ. The website's down there. It is sunqband.ru. They are on Bandcamp. Buy their music, buy their merch. It's incredible. There's topless women. What else do you want? Like topless women. I know some people are greedy. They're like, why ain't she pantsless? But you can't be greedy. Enjoy the tatas. That guys,
Thank you, Mike.
no problem. Much love, guys, and as always,